Have you ever been told to just do Kegels? Maybe you've been told that the pain that you're experiencing is normal. It's just a part of pregnancy or motherhood. It'll get better after you give birth. You're peeing yourself, you're leaking when you like stand up, cough, laugh, sneeze, jump on the trampoline, you're trying to run, you're peeing, and you're just like, everyone's like, oh yeah, that's just part of being a mom. No big deal. How about the, wait 6 weeks and then come back and see us and then you're good to go. These are all myths and misconceptions that we need to like debunk. And I could spend probably so gosh darn long going over each one of these things, but I just want to teach you about your pelvic floor and the things you can do to feel good in your body throughout motherhood, throughout your pregnancy, throughout your birth, your postpartum, so that way after your babies are born, after your babies are running off at the playground, you're not still sitting over here struggling to feel like yourself. You're not feeling weak or like you're still peeing yourself or you're still having back pain and hip pain and you can't have pain, you can't have intimacy or sex anymore because it's painful or uncomfortable or it doesn't feel the same or you're not getting pleasure from it or all of these different things that come from, people say it comes from just having children, it's just a part of motherhood. But it's not. This is where there's a huge gap and lack of education and support surrounding your pelvic floor. And I mean, this is taking place in the medical field as well, like providers and everybody. And I'm not saying that you have a bad provider. I'm just saying there is a huge gap in the education that they're given surrounding your pelvic floor. So they do a great job about keeping you safe throughout your pregnancy, your birth. But my job is your pelvic floor to keep you moving, to allow you to have intimacy with pleasure, allow you to keep up with your children and play with them, allow you to move throughout your pregnancy without feeling like your pelvis is breaking in half, or to sneeze or cough without crossing your legs, right? Your pelvic floor is responsible for so many amazing things that it can really change how you feel throughout your journey of motherhood, and it can make a huge difference. And I don't just mean physically, but you know, especially if you've been through these things, how like mentally and emotionally exhausting it is to go experience this and to just wait and hope it gets better, or to try all the things on social media and YouTube and like things that you've seen and it's just not working. You're not getting better. What is wrong? What's happening? So let's talk about what your pelvic floor is first. I don't ever, if you're new here, I don't ever use the terminology Kegels. So many moms don't do it right, and it just adds to more problems. And so many moms don't need that part of this. And so again, adds to problems. So that's no longer a part of your vocab, okay? You're not allowed to use that terminology. It's gone. We're gonna teach you new things. The basics of your pelvic floor, it starts with simply breathing. And I get so many eye rolls every time I talk to moms about just breathe correctly. Just breathe the right way. Let's talk about it. Let's do it together. And they're like, oh, here we go. Breathing. Here's some like, okay, crazy lady. But I want to do this because this is important. Your breathing, your diaphragm up here connects with your pelvic floor. They work together. And so when you aren't breathing correctly, it has a lot of pressure down into your pelvic floor. And this is a problem. So what the heck is your pelvic floor? What does it do? Why is it important? Your pelvic floor makes up the bottom of your core. It's like the hammock. I don't have the right one, but this is your pelvis. Your pelvic floor is the muscle through here. It's essentially the muscle throughout the vaginal canal. So when you insert anything into your vagina, those are your pelvic floor muscles. There's 3 different layers of your pelvic floor muscles. So the deeper you go, there's a different layer, and there's several muscles within each layer. Okay, you with me? That's your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor acts as a hammock. So if it's down here, it acts as a hammock to like your bladder, bowel, and uterus. So your uterus during pregnancy has your baby. So during pregnancy, your pelvic floor has a lot of responsibility. So this is the basics of your pelvic floor, okay? You start with the breathing. And let's just do it together, okay? As you breathe, I want your chest, your rib cage, and your belly all to expand. And then as you exhale, it's just coming to a neutral position. Allow your chest to rise. Put your hand on your chest. See if it's rising. Put your hand on your belly. Allow your chest and your belly to rise, to expand, to fill with air. Almost try to push air down into your pelvis. Try to breathe down through your butt. So many people are like, breathe down into your butthole. Like, it sounds so inappropriate and so crass maybe, but that's a good explanation. You're breathing down into your pelvis. You want to push air into there. This is a way you can allow your pelvic floor to relax. If your pelvic floor is tight or tense, and you're one of those people who don't need to do contractions or to engage it, it's not just working on your pelvic floor, it's wondering why your pelvic floor is stuck in that state. What can we do to reteach your body so your pelvic floor can continue to relax and work how it's supposed to? Okay, so breathing is first. Then you need to learn how to engage your core. Engage your core, tighten your core, support it, right? Your pelvic floor makes up the bottom of your core. So during pregnancy, it's like hug your baby. I'm engaging my core, but I'm still breathing. So you're not holding your breath, okay? Then it's engaging your pelvic floor. Nothing else should be able to move when you're engaging your pelvic floor. You don't want to squeeze your butt together. You don't want to do this or hold your breath or like really tighten your core. You just want your pelvic floor to engage with nothing else while you're still breathing. It's really hard. This is why I teach programs so specific to the basics of your pelvic floor before you do anything else. Because if you don't know how to do the basics of your pelvic floor, you can't add on and do the rest of the things. This is what I spend so much time, or what I used to spend so much time in the clinic with moms, is just teaching them how to breathe, engage their core and their pelvic floor. Like so much time, because it's hard. No one teaches you this stuff. So this is basic. This is the basics of it. Your pain isn't just normal, okay? A lot of times the pain is coming from a disconnect between the core, your pelvic floor, and your glutes. There's an imbalance. There's one muscle or two muscles working all really freaking hard, and the rest of them aren't doing anything, and they're just getting credit for it. So we need to restore the balance so that way you don't have the pain. The pain isn't just hormones and relaxin and your baby's positioning. Those things can add to the pain and increase your pain, but they aren't the cause of your pain, okay? It doesn't just get better after birth if you don't fix the cause of your pain. If you are having pubic pain right now and you give birth and your pubic pain kind of goes away, but you're having back pain and hip pain, pelvic pain, you're peeing yourself, that is still that pelvic floor dysfunction that you had when you had your pubic pain, but now it's showing up in those ways postpartum. So many moms still have pubic pain postpartum, and then they go to have another pregnancy and the pain starts sooner and it's more intense. I don't say this to be one of those people that's like, oh, just wait, it gets worse. No, it doesn't have to get worse. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't have to get worse, but it can, because you're not taught how to address the pain or the cause of it. So by doing that can really help improve your pain. You don't have to live with it. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's something that you have to live with. Common means that it's prevalent. Normal means that it's expected. You should never be expected to struggle with pain because something is so prevalent due to the lack of education and understanding surrounding the pelvic floor, pregnancy, birth, postpartum. That's why it's so common. That's why it's so prevalent. That's why it's turning into this normal thing, is because there is this huge gap in education and understanding surrounding your pelvic floor. This leads into peeing when you don't want to, when you stand up, when you walk, when you jump on the trampoline, when you run, when you laugh too hard, sneeze, whatever. It's not normal. It's common. It can get better. And you know what? I've had women that I've worked with that have never had children that have this issue. And they're like, I didn't have kids. I thought I bypassed this. They're like 30 years old. It's not just having children. It's not just a part of motherhood. This is pelvic floor. There's an imbalance. There's something going on that we have to address. Okay? Waiting 6 weeks is not the answer. There is so much that you can do during those 6 weeks to help improve your recovery and help limit some of these things from occurring after those 6 weeks. And I don't mean you're doing a bunch of exercises and things. Have I said anything about exercises yet? We're talking about like breathing, engaging your core, your pelvic floor, doing some very simple, basic things to help support your body. And you use it every day, all day long. Learning how to do these things is so important throughout your pregnancy, your birth, your postpartum experience, just life in general. Maybe you're not pregnant right now and you're just like, what? What's my pelvic floor? What does this mean? Okay? I teach all these things within all my programs, resources. I even have a podcast, Belly Birth Beyond. So subscribe to this YouTube channel so that way you get all the information you want surrounding pelvic floor, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and stick around, start learning. I have a website you can go check out. Happy to answer any questions too. At one point, we'll do a live Q&A throughout YouTube, and you can hop in and ask questions, and we can support you. I can support you. I'm a one-woman show. Your pelvic floor is so important, and I want you to be able to feel your best throughout pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, and beyond. I'm talking your kids are out on the playground playing by themselves, and you're just sitting back. I want you to be able to enjoy yourself and do the things that you like to do. You shouldn't lose that to motherhood. You should gain, right? You're gaining something from motherhood. You should feel that in your body too. You shouldn't feel like you had kids and now your body's not yours and all of the other feelings that come along with it. Okay, you got this. You can do it. If you need specific help or support, check out the resources on my page. Send me a message and email. I'm here to help support you along the way so you can feel like your best self. Sending